Laker fans, how we doing? My name is Sammy Long here with Hoops Talk. We're getting into a little Lakers-Nets preview game for tomorrow night. Very important game for the Lakers. Three things I'm going to get into today. We're going to get into the Brooklyn tale of the tape. We're going to talk about their strengths and weaknesses, things like that. We're going to get into the January 19th matchup, which is a matchup the Lakers like to forget. It was a game that the Lakers, the odds makers, had penciled in for a Laker W, and the Nets came in there and it was bad. 130 to 112, just absolutely dominated the Lakers. One of the real low points of the season. And so the Lakers look to avenge that. And then we're going to talk about the final 2-week push for the playoffs. I mean, this is really fun. The best time of year, in my opinion, for basketball, NBA. I mean, every game matters. We're not 2-3 months out where you're projecting and rooting for teams to lose. Now it's real. It's starting to feel like playoff level basketball. The defensive intensity around the league, in my opinion, has really picked up. And it's just a fun time to be a basketball fan. And hopefully the Lakers can make some headway there. So starting with Brooklyn, what they're good at, what they're not, tail to tape. This is a team that, their statistics are low because they're not a great team, but they do have a lot of scores. They score 111.2 points per game, which is about 24th overall. They're averaging around 26 assists per game, which is good for 18th overall. Field goal percentage is not good, 45.7%. That's tied for 27th overall, so something to exploit. They take a lot of shots, but they don't hit at a high clip. One thing they do pretty well, still middle of the pack, but they do rebound pretty well, around 44 rebounds per game. That's good for 13th overall. That starts and stops with Nick Claxton. Nick Claxton is a really underrated player in the league, in my opinion. He's averaging around 10 rebounds per game. He's shooting around 63% from the field. Center, that's amazing. He's got 28 double-doubles on the year, 131 blocks. He leads the team with 126 offensive rating and 123.3 defensive rating. So this is a guy that gets it done on both ends of the floor. And I think it's a big matchup for Anthony Davis. This is a guy that Anthony Davis should dominate. We've said that before. We've said it, and I want to give AD his props. He's played well. He's played really well against Giannis multiple times. He has, just been on a tear recently, looking like the guy he has been. But we've also seen Sabonis dominate him a couple times. We've seen Nurkic dominate him. We know Jokic is in a class of his own, but we've seen these things. This is another opportunity, I think, for AD to show why he's one of the top centers in the league. And I think he can, but I think this is a good opportunity for AD to really keep building that momentum for the playoffs, because Nick Claxton is not a joke and he can't play the game. And the Lakers don't see him a lot. He's in the Eastern Conference and they only play him twice a year. So getting back to them, they also have, some big-time scorers. Cam Thomas, Mikal Bridges, a lot of former Suns who we used to saw him in the playoffs a couple times. But Cam Thomas averaging around 22 points per game. Mikal Bridges averaging around 20 points per game. They get it from a lot of different areas. This is a team that also got a lot of former Lakers. Lonnie Walker, Dennis Schroeder. So, guys are going to want to have big nights, especially in the NBA. Any guy can really get off on any night. And it's important that the Lakers really lock in because, this is not a team without talent. This is not a team where you look at like the Pistons where it's like you have Kate Cunningham, that's about it. But this team is starting lineup. Personally, I think in a couple of years, this team could be pretty good. A couple more lottery picks, get a star player, lure someone along. They're not that far off. They just need a real true star. And Mikal Bridges is your second best player. Cam Thomas is your second and third. That's a pretty good unit right there that could win a lot of games. So Dorian Finney-Smith, great defender. So, the Lakers got to have a big night. They really got to bring it. I want high intensity. They should have a lot of high intensity because, they got blown out by this team earlier this year. So they should take it personally getting into that game. Just really a disaster. The starters for the Nets, I believe, were all in double figures. Looking at how the Lakers played in that game, AD had 26. He had a good game. Prince did not with 10. Reeves did not with 9. Rui had 0. He was 0 for 6 from the field. So he had a rough night. Obviously, he's been on an absolute tear recently. This is not the same Rui that was earlier in the year. Ham has seemed to figure out finally that, the lineup that got him the Western Conference Finals is the lineup to run with. Don't keep messing with it. Something's not broke, don't fix it. And I think he's kind of figured that out. Vando had 12 in that game. Christian Wood had 5. Christie had 6. D'Lo had 20. LeBron 24. So just not a great night. I remember watching the game. It was just a very lackadaisical, kind of got the feeling the Lakers thought they would just run over them. And it was close there for a while. And then the Nets just turned on in the third and fourth. And they were like, we're going to snatch this game in LA. And as everyone mentions, people get up to play the Lakers. It's like the Dallas Cowboys, the New York Yankees. It means something else when they come to town. And now we're going to them. So that crowd's gonna be rocking. And by the way, let me get into something that happened the other night with the Pacers. The Pacers PR team thinks it's smart to put a crying face of every Laker fan who was there because they won on their home floor, which they were favored to do. Like, let's not remember that you lost the in-season tournament finale to the Lakers earlier this year. You lost a week ago from tomorrow to them, and you're showing all the Laker fans with crying faces. Like, first off, if anything, that just means that you have no fans because there's a gazillion Laker fans they showed there. It was like split. So this is ridiculous to me. Like it's kind of like the Dodgers Padre thing when all the Padre fans show Kershaw crying. It's like, come on, man. I mean, what are we doing? Like, you getting dominated by this team for how long, and you win one game, and you're talking like that? I don't know. It rubbed me the wrong way. But hey, maybe the Lakers saw that and come out and impose a will against a team, an inferior team that they should beat. And I really hope that happens because they need to. And there's really no more room for error. I'm not going to kill him for the Pacers loss because if you would have said that they were coming on the 5-game win streak to start the road trip, you'd be 2-0. No one thought they'd win against the Bucks. You thought the Pacers would be a tough game because you had beat them twice. But so I'm not gonna kill them. They had a great shooting night. The Lakers just didn't. They scored the least of the season, 90 points. But let's not let that snowball. Well, let's really kind of nip that in the bud and just and restart the win streak again. And because these are 3 teams you should beat. I mean ahead of you with the Nets tomorrow night, the Wizards and the Raptors. I mean these are all teams that you're looking at that are 3 wins for the Lakers. Should be 3 wins for the Lakers. I don't want to jinx them. Should be 3 wins for the Lakers, and let these other teams start kind of battling with each other, and there might be a real opportunity to move up in the standings. Speaking of the standings, final 2-week push for the playoffs. The Lakers did get a little help last night, even though they lost, with the Mavs coming all the way back. I believe they were down like 15 and 19, somewhere in there at some point in the game. I was watching the Laker game, obviously, but and they came all the way back and won, which was huge because we've been saying all week, Al and I in the preview videos, whoever in the Mavs and Kings back-to-back, you wanted one team to win both those games. You didn't want them to split and tread water. When the Mavs won the first one, I was a little nervous. I was like, man, the Kings really going to lose back-to-back at home? But they did. And, obviously you don't, root for injuries or anything like that. It sucks when guys like get hurt and Malik Monk, a fan favorite. I love Malik Monk, Kevin Huerter. But those guys are hurt. Kevin Huerter's done for the year. That news came down yesterday. Malik Monk today, 4 to 6 weeks out. So you start looking at this team, like those are guys that have killed the Lakers. Malik Monk in 2 of the games this year has destroyed the Lakers. Huerter in the second game destroyed the Lakers with 28. I mean, you're really thinking that, like, how are they going to look? Because we already know they're not a great defensive team, the Kings, and they really need that offense to shine. And you take 2 really elite scorers and a guy in Malik Monk that comes off the bench that really kind of adds 6-man going against second unit. Who knows what they're going to look like? Now, I'm not going to get ahead of myself and say, they have on the Lakers this year. They beat them every time, but it's a different looking team. And the Lakers trying to get healthy. Gabe Vincent, questionable for tomorrow night. Super exciting. Hopefully he plays. It'd be great to see him out there. This is Pelinka. This is why they spent the money on him. They were excited to get him and be a really impact defender and impact scorer. And I think it could really help guys like Reeves, D'Lo, and out with another 3-point shooter out there. And then a guy who just come off the bench, because that's been the Lakers' Achilles heel all year. No bench. And when it has been the bench, it's been spotty every game. I mean, they went on a long streak there for like a month where the other team outscored their bench every single night. And you're hoping with Vando back, Vando coming back soon, Vincent back, guys like that they might be able to flip the script on that a little bit. Some games to look forward to tomorrow besides the Lakers getting a win, obviously. Utah or Sacramento would be awesome. The Lakers are a game and a half back from Sacramento. Need them to keep losing. Spurs over Warriors, would love that. Just see the Warriors lose. The Houston game is interesting because it's like, do you want the Warriors or do you want Houston? Now, at first glance, you go, I want Houston because, I mean, like, they don't have Houston's never really won anything in any recent memory. And, the Warriors still have Steph Curry. But this Draymond thing in Kerr and this team, they really seem like they're falling apart. Now, do I want to see them in a one-game scenario? Not really. But, I mean, people were hyping the Warriors a month and a half ago, and that is just falling apart because the Warriors do not look like if they didn't have the brand the Warriors, I don't think anyone would be talking about them. I think they'd be thought of as like a Bulls in the Eastern Conference. So like, yeah, they'll make the plan, and then they'll probably get bounced. Maybe they'll win a game, but they'll get bounced. Charlotte over the Clippers would be great, and it'd be great if the Cavs could beat Denver. We've been saying if the Lakers are stuck in the 9 spot and they were to win 2 games, it'd be great to get the Thunder. It'd be great to get the T-Wolves, not the Nuggets. And so if Denver keeps losing, they've had some struggles as of late, last couple games. It'd be nice to see to get to play the Thunder because the Lakers had some real success against them this year. So looking forward to a big game tomorrow night. Hopefully Lakers come out with a victory. Thank you guys for tuning in. Please listen after the game with Al. I'll be in the background doing some comments. And thank you guys. Appreciate it. Go Lakers.